So I know for a fact that many of you love my Madoka theories and love the idea of imagining what if certain events happened or changed and how this outcome or change would affect the Madoka series as a whole. Now, if you remember what took place at the end of the Madoka series, meaning the original TV anime to which you have Homura, who is only seconds away from falling into despair and turning into a witch after failing to defeat Walpurgisnacht for what is presumably the 100th time, and after realizing that should she continue to rewind time, that Madoka's karmic destiny will only get worse and worse as expressed from Kyubey. This makes Homura feel as though her struggle to save Madoka was worthless. It's then we see Madoka come to Homura's rescue, proceeding to make her wish to Kyubey, and it's at this point that Madoka becomes a goddess and the law of cycles is created, saving all the magical girls past, present, and future from becoming witches. Now, what do you think would have happened if Homura not only stopped Madoka from making this wish by once again rewinding time, completely ignoring the fact that Madoka's karmic destiny is slated to get worse as a result, because why not? What do you think would have happened had Homura took Madoka with her to the past, and what if Kyubey followed along with them to the past as well? How would the series have changed and how would things have turned out in this alternative timeline? Well, in this video, we're going to be exploring this very what if scenario as we dive into the Madoka spin-off manga titled Homura's Revenge. That's all coming up next, so stay tuned. Hoi, hoi, hoi! We have the power to do anything! Hello there, my wonderful IMP Nation, how are you? I'm glad you could make it today. This is Mommygasm, aka Mommy Sexual, reporting for duty, and I shall be your imperfect host for today. Hoi, hoi, hoi! Now, before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I decided to start a new series where I will be reviewing all the volumes of Homura's Revenge. Now, one of the reasons I decided to do this is for those of you out there who may or may not have heard of this manga, but maybe you're on the fence about it and not sure if you should pick it up or not. So hopefully by the time this video is over, it will help you decide if this manga is for you. Now, for those of you who are interested, I've left a link in the description below, as well as in a comment directing you to Amazon.com, where you can actually buy this manga and many others relating to Madoka Magica. It is my hope that this video will be valuable and helpful to you in deciding if this manga is for you or not. So if you end up enjoying the video and want to check out the manga for yourself, check out the link in the description or my pinned comment. And with that said, let's begin today's video. Hoi, hoi, hoi! So, as mentioned before, this manga presents a what-if scenario in the idea of Homura going back in time with both Madoka and Kyubey, and it's after this happens, we see Homura awakening from her bed in a similar way to what was shown in the flashback of episode 10 as seen in the original Madoka series. We then once again go through the motions of seeing a Homura introduced once again as a new transfer student within Madoka's class. Only one major difference this time around is the lack of awkward moment as seen in the original series with Homura's deadpan stare of death on poor little Miss Madoka. But instead, this version of Madoka actually takes the initiative and approaches Homura herself in very much the same way Homura did the very first time she goes back in time in her attempts to try to save Madoka. And what I love about this scene is not only does it sort of mirror the confession moment Mami and Madoka have in episode 3, but you totally see in this image of Homura standing on top of a flower bed mentioning the words, "I fear nothing anymore." I was honestly happy that Homura had such a moment, seeing as we know she was jealous of Mami and how much Madoka cared and cried for her after she died, mentioning how brave and strong she thought she was. But Homura suffered so much in getting Madoka to understand her that seeing her finally have support from Madoka, I honestly thought was beautiful. Do you guys ever notice that Madoka really seems to bring out the best out of people at times? I mean, when you think about the moment she has with Mommy in episode 3, and now the same moment with Homura, it's almost as though Madoka's acceptance of others seems to give them this super secret friendship power that enables them to fight on with superhuman enthusiasm and love energy? Just something that I noticed anyway. Now, it's at this point that Madoka brings it to Homura's attention that the two of them should try to work together to get the other girls to understand what's going on in order to make sure the tragic events of the past do not repeat themselves. Now, this next part of the manga, I will admit, makes no freaking sense. Madoka mentions that in order to save the other girls from having tragic deaths, we should do the exact same thing again like we did before so we know what to expect. Now, honestly, I never pegged Madoka in being the smartest character around, especially recounting some of the things she did in the previous timeline that were downright stupid, but the fact that this would come out of her mouth makes no freaking sense. Like, seriously, we should do everything the same again? I mean, what's the point in even attempting to try to help the other girls if you're going to lead them down the same path by repeating the same crap? I mean, wouldn't it make sense to do things completely different as to not repeat the same events, giving us the same story within the manga? I mean, I think logically most people would be thinking along the lines of, let's try something different as to not repeat the same mistakes, but no, not Madoka, because she's totally special like that. Though it's at this point that Madoka remembers she started things off completely wrong in the way she approached Homura, and it's from here on out, the events of the anime play out similar in this alternative timeline. Only key difference is Madoka and Homura having the memories of what happened previously. Honestly, I just want to comment on the fact that as intelligent as Homura is, it honestly blows me away that she would be so quick to accept Madoka's logic in this situation, especially considering how cold and calculating she normally is. Though I suppose this could make sense, seeing as just the mere fact that Madoka is with her and understands her in this timeline is making her so stupidly happy she's willing to go along with whatever she says regardless of if it makes sense or not. I mean, considering how fond Homura is of Madoka, it makes sense how her love-struck feelings for her would entice her to feel this way. It's almost like Madoka is Homura's pet cat that is able to seduce her with her charm and cuteness in a way where Homura has no choice but to obey. And considering how Homura treats Madoka at the end of the third movie, I think calling Madoka her pet is quite accurate. Though everyone knows that cats think they're the ones in control of us humans, which they're not wrong. Or maybe it's Madoka who has really been in control of Homura this whole time? Anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and comment your thoughts. Share this video with anyone you know that loves Madoka Magica, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!